Hi, everybody. This is Carla with Builderall Digital Marketing Solutions. Thanks for joining me for this tutorial introducing Supercheckout. At the end of this tutorial, you're going to have a basic understanding of Supercheckout, the different tools within Supercheckout, a single item sale, the e-commerce or e-store, and the auction feature within Supercheckout. We'll look at each of these basically, and we'll also go over how you can set up your store and single items for sale within Supercheckout, okay? Before we get started, I want to just mention that this feature is really fantastic, whether you have a physical product for sale, whether you have a digital product for sale, or if you have a whole lot of stock, maybe from a brick and mortar store, or perhaps from an enterprise that you're no longer selling the product, but you have a whole lot of stock, you can use this feature to sell that stock. We're going to go ahead and jump in to Supercheckout. The way that we get to Supercheckout is that we go to the Builderall back office and we go to the website that we want to build the Supercheckout in. I'm going to go ahead and click into the Cheetah homepage, and I'm going to choose to work off of my carlalwarnock.com page. And the reason that I'm choosing this page is because I'm going to sell my book, which is available on another website, but I'm going to list it in the Supercheckout just to show you what the process is. Okay. When you go into your website, you just click the edit site, and you'll see immediately all the pages within your site in your back office. And then you'll see a menu here on the left-hand side. Now, if you've watched one of my tutorials before, you already know I can't really see this without my special eyes. So special eyes to commence now. If you look, we've already done a review of this menu bar when we did the introducing Cheetah tutorial, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that, but I am going to pop right down to the Supercheckout. That's about a third of the way down the screen, maybe a little bit more. And when you click on Supercheckout, once it gets loaded, you'll be at the Supercheckout homepage. And what you'll be seeing is the analytics for the products that you are selling. Now, I haven't sold anything. I'm just now in the process of launching my website, my online business, and my book all at the same time. So I don't have any sales just yet, although I do have products. What you'll see here is you'll see your home page, which is this page right here. You can, from this page, you can, pardon me, create a product. You can also create an offer or a coupon for your visitors to your website. And you can see all of the sales that you've made and manage those and determine what is selling and what isn't from this homepage. If you click on business information, this is an opportunity for you to put information about your business. Now, my business name is Revealing Optimal Wellbeing, and I actually don't have an image in here. So I'm going to take a minute to upload an image. And I wasn't really trying to do this from here, but all right, we'll go this route. Let's go to downloads because I created this in a Photoshop application, and I'm just going to go ahead and search for it rather than looking the long way. I am not seeing my logo. Here we are. Now, I always like to upload a JPEG because it's meant to be used as, this file size will be what we need, okay? So this actually does not allow me to include my whole logo, but for the purposes of this tutorial, I'm going to try to get this in here. I really don't like that. I wish this was a little bit larger because but this will work for the moment. Okay, now what I would do is I'll put in information about my company, whatever legal information I want to include, and then it's not necessary that you put that information. You'll see that you are required to put in an address and so forth. One of the things to consider is that people can see your address. So if this is your home address, then this information will show up on your invoices when they come to your customers. And so if you don't want that information out there, you might want to consider getting a post office box or something like that. You can see that your address is not a requirement. So for right now, I'm not going to use it. I do have an email address for them to reach out to me. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here and I'm going to save this business information. And you'll see once that saves, that will, that you'll see that you can come down the list a little bit more and you can see any products that you currently have listed. Right now, I have 2 products on this website, ASL tutoring, American Sign Language tutoring. I'm fluent in American Sign Language and love to help other people learn. So I have a couple of packages, I have a couple of options here. And this is my website where I interact with people as a sign language interpreter. But it's important to note that each website has its own super checkout, and that's really valuable because I can promote myself as a sign language interpreter here, and in my empowerment coaching website for my empowerment coaching business, Revealing Optimal Wellbeing, I can promote different products, and I can also cross promote. You can see here too that you may have some products for auction, and you can list the products in this site. I don't have any products for auction right now, but I could start to load items in. And also e-commerce. I do not have an e-commerce in this particular website. I do have one in another website. And you'll see that within e-commerce, you have to fill in your store name. If you have a brick and mortar business, it's wise to keep the store names the same. But if you don't, or if you're trying to rebrand yourself, this is a great time to start to do that. You will have to choose in any one of these, create product or my auctions or e-commerce. You will always, 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 always have to choose a payment option for your product. And each product needs to have its own payment option. Okay. Now it may be that you're using one payment option for all of your art, and that's fine, but each product needs to have a payment option attached to it. For example, my highest purpose art store, which is where my e-commerce is, sells my art. It's one of a kind original art that I use to help pay down my debt and make myself be debt free by 2023, and then be able to give outrageously generously when my debt is paid off. So I could choose to use this Stripe account for all of my art or for any art that I want. I could also choose to use this. I'm going to actually upload in another tutorial my book to this website for sale. And so you can see it's a payment process that's available on another website, but it's available for me to use here in this website too, because it's all under my Builderall account. And so you can have an unlimited number of payment options, and you can see that Builderall offers you a whole lot of options. So if you don't like Stripe for some reason, I like Stripe. I also like PayPal. People are pretty comfortable with it. You don't have to have, your customers don't have to have a PayPal account in order to pay with PayPal. So that's important to note. If you have a relationship with any of these other payment vendors already, then you can choose any one of these and follow these instructions to get yourself set up on your payment platform. Sorry, that word slipped my mind for a minute. Now, here's how cool Builderall is. They realize that not everybody uses the same currency. And if you're a Bitcoin or a cryptocurrency user, then there is a BitPay option. There is not a Venmo option so far, but that's because Venmo does not allow you to do business transaction. That's only a personal transaction option. And so if you're looking for Venmo because you're in the habit of using it and you're already set up, because of Venmo's policy of being for personal exchange of money, not professional exchange of money. That's why it's not available on this site. If I chose to choose one of these, it would direct me how to get my payment platform integrated with Builderall. So it's really an easy tool to use. And I don't think you'll have any trouble if you follow the instructions. But if you do, we've got tutorials on that. There are a ton of them on YouTube. I'll have a few of them in not too long. In Supercheckout, you can also create offers for your products. This is a great way for you to engage with people who are either super active on your lists or people who have purchased from you in the past. Perhaps they were regular purchasers and you have noticed that they've dropped off and they haven't been purchasing regularly. You may want to reward them for their faithfulness with a coupon every now and again, just say thank you for your business, but also to offer them an opportunity to come back, even if something's going on with their income. It allows them to just stay engaged with you. And even if they don't shop, it lets them know that you're thinking about them, okay? You can create the offers here, okay? So these are the offers that I don't have, but if I wanted to create an offer, I would do it in this field, and you can see I can name the offer. You can name it whatever you want to. And one of the really nice features about this is that, for example, I promote with a local chorus that I interpret for, the San Diego Women's Chorus, and I work for them sometimes for cash payment, and sometimes I work for them in exchange for advertising. And so if I wanted to keep a clear eye on which one of my advertising experiences are working the best and which ones are converting more viewers to buyers, then I could name my offer something, SDWC discount, something like that. And then as people use that code to purchase products on my site, I'll know, oh, that advertising form worked really well for me. Whereas if I've maybe put an ad in, I do a lot of work actually for quite a few nonprofits, and often I request services in kind as payment rather than financial payment just because of their budget. And so if I offer a coupon to that particular nonprofit and I never get a conversion from it, then I know that that's not a viable advertising outlet for me, and I might want to rethink how I'm advertising with them, or whether or not it's better for me to change the way that I'm being paid. So if you are a person who does business with different community groups, or you're trying to outreach to different community events or whatever, this might be a really great tool for you to be able to track where your what of your advertising is working. Okay. You can track your sales through the Supercheckout. As I mentioned, I am just now getting out there and promoting my website. I actually have released it, but I haven't pushed it. So I've done the soft release, but I haven't done the promotional piece of releasing my website yet, because I want to make sure it was all perfect and ready to go. But look, y'all, don't be like me. Certainly do all the things and make sure all your ducks in a row and all your details are fine. But I'm gonna tell you, don't make sure it's perfect to the nth degree before you release your site. You can always go back and change it any moment. And so what's important is to get your products online and get them in front of your customers. Get your services online and get them in front of the customers. Oh, matter of fact, this is a great opportunity. I'm gonna actually pop back up here because I kind of forgot to mention this. In the My Products area, that's a really great place for you to offer digital products, e-courses, e-books, software files, or software packs, that type of thing. It's also a great way for you to offer services that maybe aren't digital, but they're also not physical, tangible services. For example, my sign language tutoring, I use that through the Create Product feature of Builderall as a single product. And I do that because it's an easier way for me to list this product, and there's not necessarily a limited amount of this product. People can just keep buying and buying and buying, and it's not going to run out. The e-commerce is really fantastic if you're like me, selling art or selling a product that you have a limited number of, that you're not able to source more of the product. My art is one of a kind, all of it. So while prints are available, the actual original art is only available one time. And e-commerce is nice because it does have an availability countdown. So once you're out of the product, it will be marked as unavailable or sold out. Whereas in the My Products area, that product will continue to be available online no matter until you take it off. So the challenge for me was before this latest Builderall release, the challenge for me was that I didn't want to list my art because I was afraid that two people would buy the same piece and I wouldn't be able to satisfy the order. But you know what? I'm gonna just take us off screen share for a minute. We'll come back to this, but this is a really important thing that I want to mention. I know that we're talking about super checkout, and I know that we're not really going into the amazing fabulousness of Builderall and the Builderall developers. But I'm going to tell you that these developers are so responsive. And the super checkout is a place that I personally see it every time I log in. I'm going to tell you why. Like I said, I have my art and I was not posting it in Super Checkout as a product because I was afraid that I was going to sell more than I had. And in doing research and trying to figure out how to post my art, I got online with the live chat and I asked the live chat support if there was a way for me to do a product countdown in Builderall. And at that time, they supported Magento, which is also an e-commerce site, but it's a third-party e-commerce site. And Builderall supports, they integrate with Magento, but they don't support Magento. So if you're having a problem with your e-store or you're having a problem with your listing, the Builderall team can't support that because it's not their product. So I was lamenting that and having trouble setting up my e-commerce in Magento and couldn't access support through Builderall, and was talking about that in live chat, just trying to get information that I needed. Y'all, no lie, I am not exaggerating to you. No lie, less than 2 months later, Builderall released a new release, Builderall 4.0. And in the new Super Checkout, they had, yes, you guessed it, an e-commerce that they support. So if I have trouble setting up my e-store now, live support can help me through the process. And that's one of the things that I find most valuable about Builderall is that their developers are super responsive. They communicate with the live chat support team. They communicate with the rest of the Builderall team that does trainings and tutorials and webinars. And they know what end users are using. They recognize that we're not only on this platform to sell Builderall, that we're also on Builderall to sell us and our product. And so they didn't drop the ball and stop the progress when we started selling their product. They kept the progress going so that we could also come up in a magnificent way with the tools that they provide. And so I just cannot say enough. I will never be able to say enough about how awesome and how responsive and how intuitive this development team has made not only Builderall as a whole, but the super checkout process. Let's jump back into screen share with my special eyes so that I can see what I'm telling you. Now, before I digressed, I was talking to you, I'm still digressing actually. The auction is a great place for you to offer a product and get the highest price you can for it. So the way that you'll set, I haven't actually set up an auction, but I will be doing an auction tutorial for my other website. Well, I haven't done it in this website, but I've done it in another website. So for Super Checkout, this was a good option, but for the auction, this may not have been the best site to choose. But you just walk through the process of creating a product in My Products, and then you'll choose whether you're offering it as an auction or as a single product, okay? So we were down here talking about your sales and looking at reviewing your sales and how you're able to track what sales are happening on your site. This is, of course, valuable for reasons I don't need to explain, right? It's good to know what's selling. All right, enough said about that. Your subscriptions are a valuable tool. This is wonderful because remember before when I said in the My Products section, you can set up digital products. The other thing that you can set up here is membership sites for your websites. On this site, I don't have a membership site, but on my empowerment coaching site, I actually have 3 membership sites. And so this would allow me this feature right here would allow me to see all of the people who are subscribed to any one of those sites. Make sense? Affiliations addresses a couple of things. It addresses, as you can see here, affiliations to approve. Now, what that means is that you can list items in the Builderall marketplace and you can list them for affiliation. And what that means is that you'll pay a commission to somebody who sells your product for you. And you may wonder, why would I want to do that? Well, because there are thousands of users on Builderall and they're all doing something different. Some of us are doing the same stuff, sure, but a lot of us are not doing the same stuff. And for example, maybe somebody who's on Builderall as a blogger, maybe they're a health and wellness blogger, and they look and they've decided, hey, they want to reach out to people who are deaf and hard of hearing. Maybe they talk about sign language because they had an experience and they say, hey, if you wanted to take some sign language classes, get your foot wet, get some basic knowledge about the language and some vocabulary, then you could purchase this single session or package of 6 sessions to learn sign language, and they could sell that product for me. And I can choose how much I want to pay them for the product. For example, my book is listed on Builderall on my author website. I've got a lot going on. If you all have never seen one of my tutorials, I love Builderall because you can have an unlimited number of websites. And I've got a website for just about every other thing that I love in the world. I'm not even going to lie. But it's wise that every business venture or every outreach to a customer for a different target should have its own website. And so that's one of the things I love about Builderall is they make it possible. On my author website, I offer my book for affiliation in the marketplace. And what that means is that if somebody else maybe does a blog on gratitude, my book is Living Life in Dayenu, Finding and Creating Radical Gratitude in Everyday Moments. So let's say that somebody's a blogger and they are doing a blog on gratitude that day. Well, they found my book and they're like, hey, I want to sell something. I want to earn a little bit of extra money. That's why they're in it. But they are doing a blog on gratitude. They tie in my book. They link to my book. Somebody buys my book from that. They will earn a commission. And so what you can do is you look down here for affiliations to approve, and it will tell you if anybody has applied to affiliate with you and sell your products. Now, the nice thing about affiliation is you can choose what percentage of your total earnings you want to pay to the person who is selling your product. With my book, it's 35%, and that's because Builderall in the marketplace, there is a fee, a 10% fee that they take off the top. And I didn't want to earn less than 50% for my book because I still have to pay the publishing cost. So you can choose if you want to offer 50% because it's something that it's not going to cost you time or energy to create a second time. For example, membership in my empowerment coaching sites that are membership sites, I'm going to create those sites one time and add to them, but it's not going to take me any more time to create that product or the software packs that I develop or the file packs that I develop for people who do web design. Once I design those, they're done. I don't have anything else to do to create that product, and it's not costing me anything to store the product, send the product, or maintain the product. So I don't mind offering a 50% commission for that and only earning 40% because Builderall takes a piece off the top. Because for me, the work is done one time. So really, it's very customizable, and you can personalize it to whatever your individual needs and your individual products and how much time and energy you put into them. It's not a requirement to affiliate, however, you get to choose with each product. So for my original art, I don't affiliate that because it takes a lot to create that. And that's mine. And I have a different end goal with my art sales. My end goal with my art sales is to get me out of 100% out of debt by 2023 and giving generously by the end of 2023 to other people who are struggling or on the come up or who need support. And so I'm not required to affiliate, but if I choose to, I have the option. Maybe I'm out there, I have a blog, I'm talking to my customers, I'm talking to people who are subscribers on my different lists and in my different membership sites and so on and so forth. So let's say that I'm poking around in the marketplace one day and I see somebody who's got a product that I resonate with, that is in alignment with other services that I offer, and it's an opportunity for me to earn a little bit of extra income simply by including a link in a blog or an email that I'm already planning to send out anyway. If somebody clicks off on that link and purchases the product from my lead, then I will receive payment and I will be able to see where here. Now, the thing to remember about affiliation payments is that if there is a return time, for example, a 2-week guarantee or a 30-day guarantee or something like that, where people can return the product and get their money back, Builderall will hold your affiliate payment until the end of that warranty time, and then they will release the payment after that time has expired. Okay, and we set that in all of our products. You'll see it when we do the how to set up a product, the more deep dive into Supercheckout. This is just a introduction so you can kind of get familiar with what you're seeing and know what each of these terms mean, so that you can either A, get in there and poke around and just do the things because you are computer intuitive once you have the foundational information, or it gives you an idea about how to best use your time and which tutorials you should be watching next. So you'll see that in the next couple of days, if you're receiving this from me as an email, you'll see a deep dive into each of the features of Supercheckout. And if you're watching this on YouTube, just go ahead and look in the description because I'll link to those videos when they're ready, okay? This downline tells me who my downline is. I don't have any right now. Well, I actually do have somebody in my downline, but I'm new to Marketing Builderall also, and that person is on a free plan. And so I haven't established any paying downlines yet, but it would tell me who my downline is and where I'm earning income from those people. So it doesn't necessarily tell me who's in my downline, but who's in my downline that's making sales. And this is a valuable feature to have because it'll let you know which one of your downline affiliates are strong with Builderall and up and running and doing what they're achieving their goals within Builderall and also selling Builderall, which helps me to earn a commission, and which ones are struggling with Builderall and struggling with getting affiliated and getting online and selling the product. I can look here and get a sense of what kind of outreach I might need to do for my customers and clients. I'm not sure why my screen just changed, but okay. And that is a basic overview of Supercheckout. Let me stop sharing my screen here. So in this tutorial, you learned that there is a Supercheckout in every single website in Cheetah, and that you have an unlimited number of websites. The items that you list in a particular Supercheckout, as we've already learned, are only listed in that website's Supercheckout until you intentionally list it on other sites. However, your payment options that you set up in any of your websites will be available in all of your websites. So if you're cross-promoting, for example, my book from my author website to my personal, my Carla L. Warnock website, then the payment option is already set up. It's ready to go. I don't have to do anything with that. Once you set up the payment option for one of your products, it's set until you discontinue it. And that's a fantastic feature. You also learned that we can set up products as as an individual product or as a digital product that people can just purchase and download immediately through funnels. You can set a single product there's an unlimited amount of it, and you can just sell it and sell it and sell it by using the products feature. And you can also create auctions in Super Checkout, and you can sell your products that way. Additionally, you can use the e-commerce feature. As I mentioned, that feature is good for people who have brick and mortar businesses who are looking to moving online a little bit more, or for people who have product in stock that they're either able to send out or can have drop shipped out to their customers. That's the thing to remember, is that you've got to have the product in the e-commerce before you can sell it to your customers. Now, in e-commerce, you can also sell digital products. That's also an option, but it's more for tangible products, material goods, if you will. You can sell whatever you want that's legal to sell in the United States and the e-commerce, so that's important to remember. And we also learned that we can track our sales, our affiliations, whether we're selling something or whether other people are selling our products and we've paid them a commission. And we can keep track of our downline and how that is profiting for us. I really appreciate you joining me for this tutorial and introducing Super Checkout. And I hope you'll join me for the deep dive exploration of how to set up a product in Super Checkout. We'll see you then.